Welcome to my channel Gauri Namani. In this video, I wish to speak about something music composer R Rahman said about the government's influence or government things being affecting his business. So far as I know, as I could understand, there could be many parameters to it, and there is a cinema field is a field where they go by current value and luck rather than your previous history. That is the main parameter there. And in this connection, I remember composers right from my childhood. Naushad's 1949 recording. I was born in 45, but that 4 year old, I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember the songs, and the song that was that time hit, and that was मेरी कहानी भूलने वाले मेरी कहानी भूलने वाले तेरा जहां आबाद रहे मेरी कहानी तेरी खुशी पर मैं मिट जाऊं दुनिया मेरी बर्बाद रहे मेरी कहानी मेरे गीत सुने दुनिया ने मगर मेरा दर्द कोई ना जान सका ना जान सका एक तेरा सहारा था मुझको तू भी न मुझे पहचान सका तू भी न मुझे पहचान सका बचपन के वो गीत पुराने आज तुझे ना याद रहे मेरी कहानी मैं अपना फसाना कह न सका लो आज किनारे पर आकर लो आज किनारे पर आकर अरमानों की कश्ती डूब गई अरमानों की कश्ती डूब गई किस्मत को मंजूर यही था लब पर मेरे फरियाद रहे मेरी कहानी मेरी कहानी भूलने वाले तेरा जहां आबाद रहे मेरी कहानी This song, my opposite neighbor, he used to bring a record from Ramada Hotel in Kharagpur. He used to play in the night. It was a cranking gramophone. Whenever the speed goes down, he used to pick it up. To pick it up, he would crank the gramophone. And I used to listen to this song. I remember that song even to this day. And why I am pointing about this song is, those very days, Naushad was the first person to bring the low level KL Saigal, CH Atma, Salim Durrani school of singing, very low level, to this normal level. This previously, the previous days songs, if they put, they were very early days, they were only conversations between two people, and then the songs like even Naushad's own Andaz, in which both Dilip Kumar and Raj Kapoor acted, the songs were तू कहे अगर तू कहे अगर मैं गीत सुनाता जाऊं मन बीन बजाता जाऊं and then the KL Sagal is that type हो हम जब दिल ही टूट गया हम जी के क्या करेंगे हम जी के क्या करेंगे जब दिल ही टूट गया this level of singing he brought to this Meri Kahani level, and from then on Udan Khatola onwards it was normal singing. In this Deedar itself there was another song, both Lata and Shamshad Begum, that very combination was used after 5 years 6 years in Mughal Azam, Shamshad Begum and Lata in that Qawwali. So that low level school of singing he brought to the normal level. That was the greatness of Naushad. And for many years he was in the picture. We were hearing his songs, anything. And the greatest setback to him was, in one picture the producer wanted him to, after the song was recorded by Talat Mahmood and Rafi, the producer wanted to change the singer, because of the vibro in Talat Mahmood's voice. Talat Mahmood, a person for the first 15 years, Indian film service, he ruled such a person's voice. The producer wanted to be replaced by another voice, and that was replaced by later on by that was Naushad. He simply obeyed he had to obey the producer, and they did. Had it been Rahman sir in his place, he would have thrown the money on the producer's face and asked him to get out. That is the difference. Those were the days. And he continued that way many years. And there were gaps always, whether it is a producer, singer, or a composer, there are gaps. Those gaps, what happens? Their creative tanks, when they get emptied. Khayyam's one song, Rajesh Khanna's first film, 1967, that was Baharon मेरा लगाओ बहारो मेरा जीवन भी संवारो कोई आए कहीं से फूल वारो बहारो. This was 1967. Later on, people forgot this producer, this composer, Khayyam. After 10 years, he got a break in Kabhi Kabhi, and the film was all the songs were super hit, and nobody expected Kabhi Kabhi Pal Do Pal. All the songs were very good, but nobody expected a fast song. तेरे चेहरे से नजर नहीं हटती नजारे हम क्या दे. That's Rishi Kapoor's skating song. Nobody expected that fast song from Khayyam. So meanwhile, what happened between these years, Chetananand's Akhri Khat and Khayyam, this Kabhi Kabhi, people almost forgot there was a composer called Khayyam. The only reason is there they didn't find the tank useful. It's all creative metal tank, God given flows. As long as the flow continues from the osmos to the head, people receive it. The composer receives it and sends it to the receivers, listeners. That's what happens. So if there is a gap, the one natural cause could be the people feeling is not to the. Why in '85 when I went for my exams I was staying in Chennai for some days. 85, as I was moving from one lane to another lane in Triplicane, everywhere I was hearing the same song, Chini Chini Ashe, Rosa. And I asked them, who is the new, they said a new boy has come, a new composer, and he is going to super hit, and he's a prodigy. That was the statements they were, as throughout Triplicane I was hearing the same song. That standard of song, do we hear now? So when a long gap comes, things change. And another important point is the change of technology. Those days, one film, say if a song was hit and the film was lasting for some months, now it is a matter of days and hours, and things accordingly change. And what happens now? A few people they gather together, they are making films themselves. Either half composers, one singer and one composer. And I'm giving the example of Taman and the people, friends around. So they won't like they have their own productions. They won't like to have another music composer for composition. So this is a change of technology is another reason. And as for governments, as far as I know, this government, people have been waiting for the change from the previous governments, and they have got it, and they do well, and they are received well, and it is going on. This government, though it is they say it is business people, all Gujaratis, Marwadis, but the acts they are doing is communist. So for some days, I was in the communist movement, so I was also associated with, and those days, as compared to this, the reaching the root people. In Chhattisgarh, where they were rooting out the Naxalism, what they have done first service to the villages where the services were needed, and then people were they were doing the services first, and then other changes were coming. Even Naushad's own fans were betrayed, like they were feeling he was not doing this well. They went to the extent of saying that he has become an ear sore. There were some days, and in those very days, I felt compulsive to write an article on him. I wrote an article for the magazine Film World, edited by, produced and edited by T.M. Ramachandran, Bandra. After writing the article, I took it straight to him instead of sending it. I went to, personally took it to him. He read the article and said, yes, the article has come very well, but instead of general article, I will print it as a letters to. I said, please print it as general article, because if he prints as general article, he has to, I would get some money, and I was needing that. The purpose of writing the article was that. Then he said, uh, presently you go away. I will decide and print it as any one of them, but surely I will print it. That very time there was a cover of the magazine was ready. Pride goes before fall, and the cover lady was Hema Malini. So he was giving some warning to Hema Malini that pride goes before fall. I remember that magazine, Film World magazines, that cover. And after speaking to him, I came back. The object of the composition was, essay was, Naushad should change his style of composition. But God gives only one type of brain and one type of things. For him to change, in spite of best efforts, it is a divine effect to come out. The changes somebody else is wanting, they should come from the source. So he tried his change style, different style in My Love, and songs were very sizzling, but the film was not a success, and correspondingly the songs went into the oblivion. And same thing, half-made film Love and God, the compositions were coming very well, but the picture was undone in the halfway through. So those are the things about a continuity of a person. And his greatness was, he looked after the small people in the music field, the small time composers, small time musicians, their associations, and he created a fund for them. Because these cassette sellers, they would sell the cassette, but while giving the sales quantity, they would give wrong figures. So he made a system to track correctly and see that the composer gets his annual royalty correctly. This was a great service done to the small time musicians, and one of the beneficiaries was my cousin and Surya Prakash among them. He was only doing mainly bhakti cassettes, and even those we could hear Tirumala, Tirupati, everywhere you can hear the songs composed by him. But when it came to royalty, he was not getting any money. They would say, all are no, they are not yet sold, sir. After the first batch is sold out from the first veranda, they will take out from another backyard another stack. They will sell them. They would not give the exact figures. All that system, Naushad got corrected, and he gave a good contribution to the small time musicians and music people. That was his great contribution. And about these governments, as I was coming back to this present government, what they do is, they are capitalists. They talk capital, big investments, etc. But the service they are doing is pure communism, reaching the root people, very root people. Otherwise, the 16th day, the ration comes on my way, in my streets, in my home streets. Here, this is Modi's ration. This kind of care no prime minister previously took, and the whole government does similar things, and especially the rehabilitation of Naxalites, and they are doing. They are real communists, and this reminds me of, I've been to one communist nation, that's Romania, and while going to that country, Romania, our ship, Satya Kamal of JK organization, Seven Seas Transportation. I was the fifth engineer, one of the 15 engineers, and our ship stopped just before the biggest bridge in the world, that is spanning one side Asia, one side Europe. On the left side, it was written, "This is the Asian side of the Istanbul Bridge, and from here starts cheating, corruption, and all that." And the master of that slogan was, he sits not there, he in the capital, that is Ankara, that is the president of that nation, prime minister, I don't know. He is one of them, surely, because he didn't have the minimal human, what do you call it, Ehsan Farosh. He didn't have the minimum obligation that Modi was the first person to send him on earthquake, and he joined the other on religious basis, joining Azerbaijan and all nations to counter India. So that was one aspect. After reaching Romania, we reached Constanza, Black Sea port, and while the engine was 7RD-76, and I was given the job of opening all scavenge doors for cleaning the scavenge space. I opened all the 18 bolts and nuts, and while taking out all the bolts, the last bolt when I took out, I came out myself, but I delayed my taking my hand out. So the heavy door fell on my palm, on the dorsum of my palm, and here blood and some portion got removed. So I came down, and all of them were working on the unit number 7 or unit number 6, removing the cylinder head. I showed them a small accident happened to me. Then they said, and I told them a small piece of mutton has come out. They all laughed. I don't know. Then I said, I'm injured and you're all laughing. Then they said, you should not say it's mutton. Mutton is only for goats. I didn't know that. Anyway, they said, you go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. And hospital there, Navlamar agencies, one fellow knowing English, he was loudly speaking that we Romanians are very nationalist minded. We want everything for no Romania, by Romania, everything was done. And I was taken to a lady doctor. She saw my injury. She said, gentlemen, I have the power to send you home if you want to go home. On this injured on duty, I can send you by flight, and nobody insurance will take care, and you can go if you want to. I said, I need see time for more examination time. Is not sufficient. I don't want to go home. You please do something to my injury. Then she tested my injury. Then she said, but then do me one favor. I said, what favor you want for this small job you have? No. Next time you come to Romania, please bring me an elephant. Became angry. Normally, I don't become angry, but then I said, do you know the size of an elephant? Then she told like this. Oh, you mean toy elephant? She used to say toy elephant. Oh, no, I meant toy elephant only. You took it as big elephant, and which you can't bring, and now can I take it? She said, I mean, you are speaking very good English. Then after that, we left Romania for Russia for one day. Ilchivsk we went. That is very cold place. We went outside everywhere, some 10 years, everywhere. We were also looking for shopping. And wherever asking where they are looking at us, nobody knew English. So one gentleman said, what kind of shopping? Then we stuck there. Then he said he showed a supermarket, and we did. I think we saw children. Only eyes could be seen in the trolleys they were moving. That was place was Ilchivsk after Lenin. Ilch means Lenin, or name after Lenin. It is a few 100 miles from Odessa, the famous in the Second World War. So after that, we came back to the ship, and we came back. So what about this? Coming back to communism, I was saying the service aspect was very good in those days. Presently, the same government is they doing things communism, but talking capitalism. This is the combination is going, and this not getting a business, etc., is not contributed to anything. The change of technology is one reason, very fast changing, and nobody is wanting a long time service. That was one reason. Another is if lacuna is there, it should be. And coming to the main point, the person who interviewed, when India Pakistan were getting separated, Jinnah was taking all people to Pakistan, including the person who wrote Iqbal, Sare Jahan se hasta Hindustan hamara. He also moved to Pakistan. That very time, these English educated guys were silently moving to England, and they occupied all this so-called BBC. It is the Pakistan Broadcasting Corporation. It's not. They call it BBC, but people are all there. Anywhere in the world, that from that time, even though Jinnah was wanting, even now, if you put a phone plebiscite, all of Pakistan would like to come to India, and Bangladesh keeps coming. Don't have to tell. They keep coming, irrespective of where they're becoming a nation, etc. And our Calcutta politicians, they help them for votes. So this game goes on. So irrespective of all these things, what is wanted is, as I was telling, this nationalism, same thing. When Dilip Kumar, 100 years of life and 70 years of career, when he got the Nishan-e Pakistan award, he accepted it, and he was joyful, and everybody was joyful with them. Indian journalists wanted to trap him with a question showing any discontent towards Indian government. That he would not give a chance the way other people give. He was very smart in that. He handled the questions very carefully. Nishani Pakistan is being offered to him by Pakistan, so there's nothing wrong that he is an ex-Pakistan. He is Pakistan settled in India. There's nothing wrong, and all his services to were India from the time he came, all his movies and all that, and he was an idol for many of them. So these questions, these journalists, they want to trap you in a question, and this was a trap question for which Rahman sir answered, and It was nothing from his own thing, but it was a trap question to which he fell. And for such questions, he, my PR would answer this. That should be the answer to these people, because they are always sitting there. They can do anything there. So, my request is, anytime such things happen, it is it can be referred to as, it should be under the care of PR. PR would answer this, because journalists are people. They can do very great service as well as very great damage. They can see that if a government falls or a government is erected. So this is my request to anybody when coming to journalists. I didn't know, the one fellow was telling me, you are also a YouTube journalist. I didn't know that. Already they said you have already become, your 25 videos are there. You are talking a lot. Then I said, okay, I don't know. They call you YouTube journalist, and like Palki Sharma said, they are very advanced. So similarly, so the journalist game is, sometimes intentionally they want to trap the other person to their questions. See that they get the answer they want. That is their beauty in composing the question. So one should be careful with this, and the best answer would be better. My PR would answer, and I will skip the question, or no more comments. That's what the standard politicians do. Okay, this is my humble request to the people being dealt with such journalists.